When they are abducted, is there an agenda to impregnate these women?
They drop them out in the Walmart at 2 in the morning.
Do they have a birth certificate?
Because they don't grow up here, they grow up in the ships. Walking towards her is a 12-foot woman.
They've made many, many movies about aliens. But the question is, are they angelic or demonic?
Why don't they want to acknowledge the supernatural?
The seminary education today, that when pastors are being trained, there's no emphasis on the supernatural, even though the Bible's a supernatural book.
As in the days
of Noah, so it will be.
Yeah.
And it goes down to, well, what is their ultimate purpose? Inaugurate the Antichrist.
All right, so that clip you just saw is from a new show, David Heavener Investigates. You can catch it only on davidheavener.tv on the original programming channel. It's the alien demon connection. What is it? The abduction talks about the disclosure. And I have my guest on that particular show, and he's with me tonight. LA, are you there with me, buddy?
I certainly am, David.
All right. When people are abducted, which I want to get into the detail with you, but when, especially women, when they are abducted, is there an agenda to impregnate these women, to mingle the seed?
Absolutely. There's a this is part of my when I saw this on Fox News, I about fell out of my chair. So Brett Baer on his show is discussing and stating on the record that some women who are taken aboard UFOs find themselves pregnant. Now that's really bizarre. They run the story, that's the headline, but they don't go into it. It's all part of the greeting program, and it goes back to the Genesis 3:15 narrative.
So what are they trying to do? They want to impregnate these women. They want to mingle their seed. They want these women to birth a little demonic babies?
No, that's not what happens. The woman is taken usually at 10 to 12 weeks towards the end of the first trimester.
Right.
She's re-abducted, taken, and the baby is taken. In our fourth film on UFOs, we sit down with Karen, who was taken at a very early age, and she was impregnated by them 3 times, and she lost the baby. The baby was taken from her 3 times. And I've heard this over and over and over and over and over again, literally now for decades. That's the way it is. And
what did they do with these babies, LA, when they take them?
They're hybrids. They're part, the DNA, the seed has been mingled. And I remember asking Chuck Missler this very question, years and years ago. And I said, Chuck, what do you think the end game is here? Without hesitation, Chuck Missler said, Satan is outnumbered 2 to 1. He's building an army. And now we know that these so-called hybrid entities are integrating into the population. How do we know that? Because people see them, people interact with them. And it's going to become more and more, not less and less, but more and more as time goes.
So let's say the hybrid's a baby. It's part human, part of the demon seed that was put in Rosemary's Baby. And it grows up and it's 20, 25 years old. You're actually, do they have a birth certificate? Do they have a way to arrange to make these people have a real life? I mean, you following me? How are they making that? Social Security number, all that?
According to Dr. David Jacobs, and he's been in this field and looking at it, his book called Walking Amongst Us talks about the integration of hybrids. So we've heard all sorts of stories from people. But Dr. Jacobs says this, and I realize this will sound bizarre, but when people are taken aboard the ship, here's the hybrid. So they have a handler who's human. Oftentimes that handler might be the woman or someone who's close to that hybrid entity. They pair them up. They drop them out in the Walmart at 2 in the morning. And this is the way they're integrated. Because they don't grow up here, they grow up in the ships or the second heaven. So now they're here and they don't know what a pen is. They don't know what a pen is.
Okay. Wow.
They're integrated. I'll tell you another story. This woman was in a neighborhood, nice middle-class neighborhood. And she had neighbors that moved in, very strange neighbors. They weren't really seen. And they were, instead of curtains in the windows, they were like tablecloths or towels and things like that. It's kind of strange. So, she being sort of a Mrs. Kravitz type individual, decides to go over with like a cake or some food or whatever. And she knocks on the door, and the woman answers. And they begin a conversation, and she's kind of looking in the house, and the house is like, it's not set up. It's weird looking. It's strange. And as they're talking, the woman's face shapeshifts into an alien, and she slams the door on the woman who brought the food. The next morning, they're gone. The next morning, they're gone. Here's another one. So this guy is in like a construction type deal. They're going to lunch. They're in his pickup truck. His friend is sitting next to him in the pickup truck. So they go to a fast food place. They go to window one. We all know the drill. They place their order. They pay for the thing. Now they're at the pickup. So he looks over. There's a woman there. Nothing extraordinary about her. And he reaches over and gets the first, the bag, and gives it to his friend. So he looks back and he gets ready to pick the bag up from the window. He gets the bag and he's looking at the window at the woman, and he's saying, "Thank you." Her face shifts. Half the face becomes iridescent and alien. The other face is human. They look at each other. She realizes she's been outed. He freaks out. She freaks out. She covers her face, backs away from the window, and runs out of the back part of the fast food place. One of the coworkers does this, like a quick head turn as she runs by. David, they're integrating. They're here, and they are appearing, because we know that there's countless other people that have had the same experience, and they keep it within themselves. They don't say anything. They're afraid to talk about it. It's time to let the cat out of the bag and let people know that this is real. It ties into the biblical prophetic narrative that we find in our Bible. It's all about the seed. It ties into Daniel chapter 2. So here's another story for you. This woman is shopping at Walmart. It's always at Walmart, right? Shopping at Walmart. And I call this UFO brain fog, because when we're around hybrids or demonic activity, we're not used to this, and it's hard to think clearly. And obviously, the people in this aisle are no longer thinking clearly. So this woman's shopping in an aisle. There's a couple of other people with her in the aisle at Walmart, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. All of a sudden, from the top of the aisle, walking towards her is a 12-foot woman, a woman who is 12 feet tall. She's dressed really well. It's not a guy in drag and on stilts. I mean, she's well proportioned, but she's 12 feet tall. How do we know this? Because the woman is about 5'6", and she came up to this giant's waist.
Did anybody else see her?
Yeah, everybody, and there were 2 or 3 other people in the aisle. Everyone stopped what they're doing and watched her come down the aisle. And when she turned and left, they all went back to shopping.
Wow. Well, I go
brain fog.
I go to Walmart all the time, and I think I see most of the Nephilim there. Both the customers and the people that work there. So they're among us. And now I want to talk about disclosure. There's going to come a point, because you talk about this a lot, and we do in our interviews, where it's going to be disclosed. Tell me about disclosure. Can you give me the pivotal moment, not moment, but the pivotal, give me a scenario of how you think it could unfold.
Well, the late David Flynn and I, we did converse. I never met him, but we did converse on the telephone. This is back in the 90s. So it's before Skype and Zoom and all this. So we had several conversations, on the telephone. I mean, David's site was incredible there. Watch your website. We called our film series Watchers, in sort of paying him homage, because David, the late David Flynn, was a pioneer in all of this. I think they took him out.
You think they took him out because he was exposing too much of it?
Yeah, I really do.
And we have the new End Times DVD. I investigates End Times investigation. I have a lot of my friends on here: Lisa Haven, Michael Lake. I have Josh Peck, L.A. Marzulli, Stephen Bancrofts. I mean, 8 hours of me investigating things like Satanism, the demonic powers, Illuminati, New World Order, Antichrist, one world religion, end times miracles, Bible prophecy. Folks, let me tell you something. One day, what you're watching us on right now, it's called television, it's called social media, it's called the internet. They're going to turn that baby off. You need a hard asset, because when all this stuff gets shut off, this is what you're going to be able to learn from and to understand. So I want you to text the word chosen to 91999, the word chosen to 91999, and get the End Times Investigation DVD. Hey, while you're doing it, you can have this Legalized Jesus t-shirt, okay? Plus you get a Legalized Jesus mug, right? So we'll set you up. I want you to go and sign up right now to davidheavener.tv. It's exclusive just to the members. You'll see we have 10 channels, okay? We have the Prophecy channel, Saving Baby channel, the original TV series channel, the Health and Survival channel. We have a new channel called the Alien Demon Disclosure Abduction channel, and it's got a lot of L.A. Marzulli's videos that I've done with him, but a lot of other videos by other people. You can see that channel right there. We've got a new show up called Underground Alien, and it's the only place you're going to see these. You will not see them anywhere else. Please go and support the ministry by signing up. You can get 2 months free if you do it now. davidheavener.tv. The brand new DVD of Last Evangelist. You can get it right now. It's limited collector's edition. It's got the new episode on it, along with banned videos with me and Michael Lake and Lisa Havens, Sheila Lazinski. Also, if you want to see Last Evangelist, the episode, it's exclusively episode 1 on davidheavener.tv. The brand new DVD of Last Evangelist. You can get it right now. It's limited collector's edition. It's got the new episode on it, along with banned videos with me and Michael Lake and Lisa Havens, Sheila Lazinski. Also, if you want to see Last Evangelist, the episode, it's exclusively episode 1 on davidheavener.tv.
How can people be a participant and help you bring the Last Evangelist story to the public?
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, we set it up as the model like The Chosen, where you can go and donate. You can actually be the financier on it. You go to lastevangelist.com and you can donate. You can be an actor, you can be a producer, you can be, or just donate. Special thank you. Hey everybody, I am honored and blessed not to have just one new book out, but 2 new books. That's right, 2 new books. The first one is End Times Investigation. I deal with Hollywood mind control. I deal with demon portals, the alien-demon connection, astral projection, program multiples, satanic ritual abuse, and much, much more. The things that I talk about in Last Evangelist and on my shows, all my interviews I do, it's right here in this book, especially my life story. Also, True Power, how to access your true power in these last days, okay? It's a war manual for God's children. We need to learn the enemy's tactics and how to battle the enemy in these last days. Pick up a copy of this book. Just text the word chosen to 91999, or you can go to davidheavener.tv/order, or you can simply call 844-806-0006.